There is now a larger movement to remove federal Republican lawmakers from their elected offices against those who voted against certifying the election results in the early morning hours after the rioting at the U.S. Capitol last Wednesday. The most recent being Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This morning, she tweeted for the removal for Senators Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley. You may remember we reported last week the head of Minnesota's DFL party, Ken Martin, putting out a statement Thursday calling for the removal of U.S. Representatives Jim Hagedorn and Michelle Fischbach. Chairman Ken Martin joins me now from St. Paul. Ken, even after the rioting, we suspected that there would be Republicans who might vote against the certification of the election results. Why the call for the dismissal of Hagedorn and Fischbach?
Well, this is a dark day and a dark time for our country. You have an insurrection that happened, and it's not just the events of that day. It's the events in the months and weeks leading up to the election, and of course all of the days after the election, in which Republican elected officials throughout this country essentially helped spread conspiracy theory, misinformation, and outright lies, which led to, of course, creating the environment that led to this insurrection. That's sedition. Under just the most basic definition, it's sedition. And it is a violation of the 14th Amendment, which requires our elected officials to uphold the Constitution. More importantly, to not aid or abet any insurrection against this country. Both Representative Hagedorn and Representative Fischbach, not just through their votes, but in their actions leading up to January 6th, are complicit in what happened, and they need to be held accountable. This is not a partisan issue. This is about our values as Americans. This is about our democracy, and this is about who we are as a country. And frankly, Representative Hagedorn, not only has he violated his oath to the Constitution, he has violated his oath to protect this country and protect the people in his district by the actions that he did in the weeks leading up to the insurrection on January 6th.
If any Republican lawmaker then, Ken, voices their support for specifically Donald Trump moving forward, whether they be state lawmakers or federal lawmakers, could they expect the state DFL party to call for their removal?
This is not about supporting a president or supporting someone else, but you have to put your oath to the Constitution to protect the Constitution ahead and above anything else. And in this regard, they failed miserably. So look, I think let's be honest about this. This insurrection didn't just happen organically. It happened through months and days of misinformation and conspiracy that helped rile up individuals and give them the fodder that they needed to storm the Capitol as if somehow this election wasn't free or fair. It was a free and fair election. And we have every recourse possible for people to have their concerns redressed and addressed by courts of law and Secretary of States and state legislators around the country. And each of those regards, it came back saying there was no fraud. This is not about political party, Republican or Democrat. This is only the second time in our country's history when there's been an insurrection against the temple of democracy, our U.S. Capitol, and people need to be held account.
If there were a way that Hagedorn stepped away, Fischbach stepped away, or they were removed from office, what would you like to see happen?
Well, if they're removed, there'll be a special election, and there'll be a new representative who's elected by the people. And hopefully they'll choose someone who will actually put their oath to the Constitution ahead of their fealty to their political leader, to the President of the United States. When these people are elected to office, they're not elected to basically have blind loyalty towards the President of the United States or any other political leader. Their oath is to protect and defend the country and the Constitution of the United States. And they have failed miserably in that regard, and they deserve to be removed. I don't care if they're replaced by another Republican, as long as that Republican's going to put their oath to the Constitution ahead of their oath to their political party.
Ken Martin, the chairman for the Minnesota DFL party. Always, sir, I appreciate your time. Thank you.